Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Global Man Central Toy Review. In today's toy review, we're looking at the 2007 release by Mattel of the DC Superheroes action figure review. And today's action figure review, we're looking at Parasite. Now, I got this straight from a toy department store, which is about 20 to 30 minutes ride away from my place. And I saw this being, chucked into the sales aisle there. As you notice, the pricing is all overlapping each other, and the recent price tag is stated at 69 ringgit and 95 cents. However, the moment I bring it to the counter itself, it charges me for 49 ringgit and 90 cents, which is really a good deal actually. Now, let's take a look at the front part packaging. I really find the packaging itself is not very appealing at all. It's purple lining in a black background, so it's not really eye-catching at all. The top part here is stated as comic book styling, so on the side here I got the DC Superheroes in white fonts. Here I got a sticker here show that reads out, includes diorama with every figure. So you got a diorama there. I would presume the kryptonite is exploding or something, with all the shards of the kryptonite flailing all over the place. Now, the plastic bubble is actually quite interesting in design. You got a nice little star shape there and sort of like steps on the sides, very nicely done. And inside you got the figure Parasite. At the back of the packaging, it showcased the rest of the figures. You got Superman, Supergirl, Steel, and then you got Doomsday. I'm not too sure why they use this version of the Doomsday. I prefer the original color. This is more orangey actually. You got Parasite and you got Bizarro, and this Bizarro doesn't have the nameplate hung onto his neck, but there's another version of Bizarro that has the nameplate. I would like to get that one. And that's about it. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now, after assembling the diorama, we'll take a look at the diorama itself. The diorama needs some assembly, and it doesn't have a instruction sheet, but at the entire piece itself, at the bottom section there is some smaller instruction like connect one part of A2, insert to slot A, and there's another one like connect B to insert to slot B and stuff like that. So you got an entire piece of diorama here, as you notice. In the bottom section here you got a Superman logo with the word Parasite at the bottom, and it's actually not bad, the entire design, except for the back here, because at the back here there's nothing to support. Like there's no back support for the diorama, and sometimes it may fall, but most of the times it's still alright. Now, for the image itself, it's actually not bad, but the problem is it exploding Krypton or exploding kryptonite? And we're talking about Parasite here. I'm not sure why they chose this for him. It looks really nice, but it doesn't seem to be a very appropriate choice for his diorama. But it's not bad. It's still not bad. Now let's take a look at the figure itself, the paint job. He is mostly purple, as you can notice, and basically there are some paint job on his body. Some paint job like the muscle tones here. There's all paint job on the muscle tones here. It's very nicely done. Some little details there, and you got the white stripes going on, as you can see. So that's on the arms there, the lower arms, the wrist there, the back portion. However, the eyes is also painted in dull yellow, and the lips are very red, and the serrated teeth there, or the fangs, are all painted individually. Very nicely done. As you can see, all the gaps there, very nicely done though. Fingernails are painted in black. Very nice, but very simplistic paint job, but it's actually not bad. Now, for the sculpt for the body itself is very unique. It's not like your typical DC Universe body. Some parts, but majority of it is very different, especially on the arms and the way how the body is. Let's take a look at the arms first. You notice the arms itself. You notice the skin there. It's like it's stretched, very nicely done. Very nice little details there. It actually has 4 fingers. Very nice. The veins are all shown. All the skin, all the veins at the back portion here. Very nice detailed stuff. It's like overstretched. Even at the legs. Now you notice the thighs and the lower legs and the calves there. Very nice details. Has 2 toes. Notice. Very nicely done. And we have a very good head sculpt there. Very nice. The details are very nicely done. I really love the row of fangs there. It's very nicely done. And when you look into the mouth, it's nothing. There's no details at all. Just purple inside. But it's still not bad. Very nicely done, especially when he rises up his eyebrows and everything else. The body, however, is rather interesting. It's hunched. And you notice it hunched very much. So when you want him to stand straight, it just hunched like that, and it doesn't stand all the way straight at all. Very interesting. And what I really don't like is when you have him pose in a very straight manner, the legs don't close all the way in, and you notice it just open up really a lot of gap there at the bottom of the crotch. So you notice the legs are not even up. So when you want him to stand properly, you can, but a slight knock to the table, or let's say to a cabinet, a display cabinet, he will just fall due to how he's aligned on the feet itself. But it's still very nicely done. I really love the entire sculpt. It's very unique. Arms, body, face, hands. It's very unique sculpt. Let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Now, the neck joint is really disappointing because it doesn't pivot up and down at all. Just a little bit, maybe to the side a little bit, but the main articulation is for him to turn the entire head 360 degrees, and that's about it. I really wish there is a hinge joint for the neck so he can look up, look down, instead of looking like that. And due to the way he is sculpted, you may need to push the body a little bit down so he looks straight, because if he's standing straight, he'll look up like that. The torso can actually pivot backwards, pivot forwards, but you have to pose him with the torso bent forward so he'll look straight, and that's really a bad point there. Waist joint turns 360 degrees. Very nice. Now the shoulder joint here turns 360 degrees. And raise the arm this far. Upper bicep here turns 360 degrees. Elbow joint bend this far. Wrist joint here turns 360 degrees. Then we have the hip joints, and you notice the hip joints are not really well done because it doesn't close all the way in. It just stuck at this point and it leaves a lot of gap there. Make legs move forward, back a little bit, go to the sides this much. Then the lower thigh here turn 360 degrees, and the knee joint here bend this far, ankle joint bend downwards and upwards. Overall, I really like this figure because the sculpt is very unique. The paint job is simple, but it's quite detailed stuff as well. But the problem is, due to this unique sculpt, when you want to pose him, he has to hunch down. So that's a little bit disappointing. Not too sure why they designed him that way, but it still works. It's just, I really wish there is more articulation to the neck joint there, instead of having him pose with the body hunched down like so. It's still a very nice figure with a very unique mold, really unique sculpt there. So if I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I'll give him a nice 9 out of 10. Because I don't see a lot of flaws there, because like the lower crotch area with the exposed gap, that's a minor little detail, and the neck joint, the lack of hinge neck joint is also a minor little detail, but the rest of the stuff is actually very good. So 9 out of 10 for Parasite. Thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.